Divine Feminine is feeling a sense of disappointment again, resurfacing, as she knows she's been disappointed several times by her masculine. However, it is teaching her she has held too much hope around the situation externally to her own circle of control. She is learning now more than ever it is only her own actions, thoughts, words that she can control, and that makes her feel in control and better. She was hopeful with the built-up energy flying around between the pair leading up to the full moon eclipse recently, that there was some momentum building as she felt powerful energy coming direct from her masculine, and she was somehow still hoping to hear something more than what she was given. I'm hearing Divine Feminine sighing. She's bored of the dynamic now, with no excitement or passion. She thinks in her headspace that her masculine is not taking any necessary steps to build with her, and she's getting frustrated again out of nowhere. I can see Feminine has been getting short, sharp, tempered tantrum bursts and feeling guilty. She's snapping at family, friends around her, and I'm seeing Feminine having pains in her forearms and pain in her body or her hands with very low energy. Hardly having energy through her day. The days all seem to be blending into one, and at this time it's leaving Divine Feminine exhausted. I had a download earlier that sometime in the summer period that's just passed, after Feminine has fully released the vision and idea of ever being with her counterpart again in the 3D, she had totally lost hope and has abandoned the idea of the whole reunion. She's maybe even moved on, and for some feminines, she's moved in another direction with a soulmate or an easier dynamic. This is where your counterpart will return when the focus is actually fully back on yourself and your own life. And the feminine's boundaries are rock solid now. He will be declaring his love and asking for another try again whilst you're both sitting in a car. Feminine is eating something in the passenger seat and masculine is driving. And if your masculine does not drive, this could be a symbol that he's in the driving seat, hypothetically, as in he's wanting to charge forward and discuss with you to see where it can go finally. But I see the feminine almost spitting out her food and laughing as if to say to the masculine, this is everything I was telling you for years, months ago, and now I'm fully detached. This is when you want to come back and make it work when I've moved on. It's annoyance in the energy that I'm feeling. Although the news is a discussion topic that will obviously be welcomed by the feminine and she'll be happy about this, she also feels annoyed. It's coming now when she doesn't have the same passion or desires for the masculine due to how he's acted. Divine Feminine is planning dates with her friends, girls or guys, and to be honest about what she's been going through with her connection with her masculine. Finally, she's not going to hold back, and she's not going to protect him, but she's just going to be fully honest. Her friends are being empathetic and somehow they feel sorry for the masculine. Feminine is feeling glad that she can be honest, and I can see that she feels relief. She is having a nice time and thinking outside of this connection for a second, and she may find herself offloading to these people that she chooses to spend time with, and just to see how they react. Divine Feminine is feeling so attached to herself and how she's going to improve her own life, and she's feeling so detached from her masculine. She wants to live her life around people and things that bring her total peace, harmony, tranquility, and she may have moved jobs or moved home recently, transitioned or moved in some sort of way. Either friendship groups have switched or something else has shifted in her life. Feminine no longer resonates with the old behaviours. She's learned a lot about what makes her feel good and coping mechanisms that don't feel good. Feminine may have got a message, a phone call or some half-hearted message from her counterpart, when she was expecting great change and an awakening of some type of movement from him finally. And all he come in with was just a conversation that didn't mean a thing to the feminine. So she's concluded that the masculine is not taking energy towards her or any movement. And she's calling the masculine a sheep. And I'm hearing her say there's no movement, he's a coward. She's feeling unattracted to his energy at this time. Whereas the masculine knows divine feminine is sick of his repetitive ways, and he's picking up that the feminine is withdrawing fully from him now. I'm getting a strong feeling that divine feminine is trying to move on from her masculine completely, as a lot of time has went by without any physical meetings or movement from her masculine, and feminine feels that enough time has passed now. She feels as though she's put her life on hold at one point. She has also learned an awful lot about herself and other people around her, and she feels as though she has progressed in all areas of her life throughout this time. She feels so busy but confused. I see a lot of feminine collectives have a lot of responsibility. They run the household, they pay their bills on time, they manage their finances alone, and they don't rely on others to help them. And I can see at one point, feminine is praying, asking to be independent and not rely on anyone else. And now that she's been granted that, she feels as though she is the one-man band. She's got so accustomed to living her life like that she can't imagine any masculine energy filling or fitting into her life in the picture. She's panicking at this time, wondering how she'll manage a masculine figure after spending so long in solitude and alone time. She can't even imagine her masculine by her side. And at one point, this was all she wanted and she wished for. Now she can't really see it happening, and she's okay with that. She doesn't feel hurt anymore when it comes to not having her masculine by her side. In fact, she's found total peace without him. I feel at one point divine masculine gave the feminine a lot of problems and stress, and she's remembering those times, and she doesn't want that ever again. She doesn't know if her masculine has changed for the better, and if he has the potential to change at all, but she knows she doesn't want him the way that he used to be, unawakened, making her life harder than what it should have been. I'm saying she used to make all the effort in the connection, and she no longer has the energy to put forward the effort again. She only wants to receive this time. She deserves true love and wants to receive true love. She is very receptive to the true love dynamic, as she is a magnet. Without even realizing this, divine feminine feels as though she's repelling the opposite sex and her masculine energy. However, she's in a high state of attracting because she doesn't need anything. This is her superpower, and she's very attractive. She loves her own life, she has her own rules, and she is busy and abundant. A lot of feminines are mothers who are busy taking care of their children daily. Their children light up their lives. A lot of feminine energies are thriving in business and work, and there's no room for lack mentality. Divine feminine really needs a male figure to step up and to match her energy, someone who is mature and who has learnt their own life lessons. I feel feminine is giving up on her masculine ever coming back. She's finding great peace with that, and she forgives him from a distance. And I'm also picking up that if there was a particular masculine energy's birthday recently, and the feminine was in two minds whether to reach out and to wish her masculine a happy birthday, like she would always do, because whether she was on good terms or bad terms with him, she would always wish him well. However, this time she did not wish him a happy birthday, because she simply was so busy on that day that she failed to remember it. Then she later on remembered that it was his birthday, and she didn't reach out to him. She feels the masculine has withdrawn and is not making any effort. He hasn't made any effort with her in the past. And gone are the days where feminine reaches out to her masculine and hands the olive branch to him. She doesn't extend herself to people or even her divine counterpart. She doesn't extend herself without any reciprocation. I'm picking up divine feminine energy has been exhausted the past 2 weeks, and she's now coming out of the retrograde energies, and divine feminine will start feeling like she's got a lot more energy. Naturally, she'll start to want to get organized, get her life back on track. She'll have lots of more self-care, and she feels like she's let herself go in the last few weeks as the energies have been so intense. She keeps her energy away from people who don't deserve it, and I'm picking up divine feminine seeing a lot of 777, 333, 888 and 444 repeatedly. Divine feminine is getting strong urges to clean things, clean her belongings, clean her home, her car, and herself, self-care. She is subconsciously wiping the slate clean and manifesting a whole new life. I feel she's pushed the masculine to breaking point in the past, or he felt like he could not trust her in the past. She was maybe too flighty, irresponsible, young-minded, basically unawakened, and the masculine in question needed stability. He didn't see a stable future with divine feminine at that time, and they separated. They parted ways. They've maybe not spoken for a few years. I'm thinking 10 years or even a little longer, and now suddenly this other masculine is around the divine feminine energy. If he is not already, he will make an appearance soon. It's all down to energy, and it's all down to the divine feminine making her choice in the end. Whoever she decides to choose will ultimately be her life partner. And divine team know both options are good options, and no one is likely to let her down again. She has to weigh up the pros and cons in this situation. She has to choose her ultimate happiness. And if there is any shadow of a doubt in her mind, divine is pushing her to make the strong decision. These energies are coming now, and they will be around for the next 8 months. Just as divine feminine is giving up all her feelings and hope for the masculine, masculine on the other hand is now 3/4 awakened, learning so much in a short period of time. He's around people and family members. He is learning how to trust his own intuition, listen to his own inner voice, finally. And that voice is strongly telling him that he has made a lot of mistakes. So he's getting so many realizations about how he's dealt with his feminine and all the things he said to her that was simply not true. He realizes now how much he lied unnecessarily. He did not need to make up those lies that he told her. Some of it was just to get a reaction out of her. He may have told his feminine, we are just different people, we're not meant to work. He never believed those statements. He was testing how invested his feminine was all along. And for a while now, he knows there is a lot that the feminine needs to know. But he just doesn't know how to start that conversation. He's been feeling so low within himself for the past 2 months, and I can see him continuing to feel this way until he makes that bold move and contacts his feminine the right way. He realizes now that his feminine is pushing him away. She's almost disgusted at the fact that every time he comes in to communicate with her, it's half-hearted, or it's never straight to the point. Divine feminine may have heard from her masculine recently, and the conversation did not seem to go anywhere. This was another attempt of the masculine to try and communicate, but almost like when he does try to communicate, his mind goes blank. He realizes the feminine is a strong woman, someone he fell in love with due to her durability and flexibility. She's able to manifest anything she needs in this life. She is strong-willed, strong-minded, and not a coward in any way, shape or form. He has learned that the more he cowers and does not communicate from his authentic self and tell the truth, the more repulsed divine feminine is, the more she runs in the opposite direction. Divine Masculine was the runner, and now he feels Divine Feminine is the runner. He believes she is repulsed by him and his lies. He does not, and he feels like she doesn't want anything to do with him. He truly believes that she's done and she's over him, and potentially she has a new masculine around. He believes her energy is so cold towards him and he can't feel her anymore. That she's possibly involved with another man or a woman, take it how it resonates, because this is just energy. He feels like if he reaches out and discusses how he truly feels with his feminine, that there is no longer just the feminine listening to his words. He now feels like there's an outer energy, as in if the feminine is involved with another masculine, who will be sitting, reading or discussing Divine Masculine's messages sent together and almost laughing, saying, well, it's too late now. He feels extreme pressure at this time. He feels like a fool. He feels he's lost the only thing that truly cared for him and loved him authentically. He's now living in regret. He has so many thoughts going through his head on a daily basis, and he wishes he could just press a button and for it all to stop. Feminine has no idea how Divine Masculine is feeling at this time. She's in her own bubble, only thinking of herself and what's right for her and her life. She's not put any energy into this connection for a while. She has no idea or no feeling that the masculine is suffering. This is true disconnection and allowing the divine to make the decisions. It is a true surrender. And feminine has surrendered and learned her lesson strongly. She has the ultimate boundaries and can't be crossed. And that is the fear of the masculines. He knows he can't come in with anything like he used to. He has to come in with a marriage proposal or plans for the future or a living arrangement. But he's just so scared to make himself look like a fool at this point and go back on his word. I'm seeing he's picking up a lot of signs from the universe. Universe is sending them number synchronicities, females that look like Divine Feminine walking past him. Basically anything the universe can send this masculine to remind him of the feminine, to wake him up further. That's what's happening, and he's getting freaked out by this. He feels Divine Feminine has put a spell on him. He feels like Divine Feminine is a witch of some kind. He may have joked with the feminine in the past about this, called her a witch in an argument. Now he truly believes something is happening outside of his control and he's feeling scared. Divine Masculine is planning to reach out in the next 2 to 3 weeks. The energies are calming from the eclipse, and he's also wanting to get organised in his own life. He wants to cleanse his life of all the people in it. They don't belong there anymore. Anyone who annoys him or doesn't have the respect will vanish. Everything that's turning upside down for him. He's going through a spiritual awakening, and it's difficult for him. He's feeling highly emotional and angry. I've seen a major change in the coming months, so regardless of whatever's happening now, what will start to happen is the angel numbers will start increasing uncontrollably. You'll start seeing 1, 11, 111, treble ones, a lot of 1111s on the clock or on the TV or anything else. Both counterparts will have vivid dreams, telling each other how they feel. There'll be a sense of not knowing what the other is going to do or thinking, and then suddenly by the end of the year, the feelings will come back and they'll be extra intense again. And now you have learned to balance these energies, and you're learning to master yourself after all the trials and tribulations, to then feel in true tranquility and peace. And nothing much phases the counterparts anymore. There will be a calmness and a deep knowing. Divine Masculine is not currently whole and in charge of his own life like the feminine is, which is why there is a delay. But he will be mastering the rest of his lessons to make some bold decisions and movements in the coming months. Don't jump into the past with people too fast and too many emotions. Feminine, take it easy. You know you've got the strength now. Don't react like you used to, as a new cycle has just started. Like, share and subscribe and follow for more divine updates.